She glanced out the glass windows of my office to where the marketing department gathered at the sofas for the meeting. A few of my coworkers cast curious glances our direction, likely wanting to know the answer to Debbie's question. I should think it's obvious. We have a meeting before everyone goes home. She growled her frustration and shook her frizzy blonde head. Yes, we have a meeting, as in everyone in marketing except our CMO. That's you, Miss Pierce. You are not invited to this meeting because it means you would end up missing something far more important. You were supposed to be gone hours ago. I opened my top left drawer to grab my iPad where I'd already jotted down the notes I wanted to review for the launch of the company's new gym in La Jolla. For the last 30 years, Kinetics had been one of the fastest-growing gyms in the nation. We had at least one location in every state throughout the West and Midwest. In California, we had 22 gyms lining the entire coast. Between dealing with getting new memberships, we also needed to advertise the gift store and restaurant located within each establishment, since those areas were open to the public without requiring a gym membership. I had no intentions of letting anything fall through the cracks. I purposely avoided Debbie's eye. There will be other weekends. Emma, honey, when a hot, rich man invites you to join him for the weekend at his parents' estate, you know he's not looking at it as just any weekend. You only meet the parents when it's serious. A few more curious glances were cast in our direction from the marketing team. I wanted to drop the blinds in my windows to keep the gawkers from staring, but when I'd been hired, I'd vowed to have complete transparency. That meant the blinds stayed up. Always. Blake understands. He knows this move up in the company means a lot to me. He's supportive of me making my own future. Even when you could be making a future together? I hedged the conversation about Blake inviting me home by narrowing my eyes and folding my arms over my chest. What exactly did you tell the team that makes them stare at me as if I'm about to do a magic show? She finally stopped looking accusatory and had the good sense to look guilty. I might have told them you'd be leaving early today and that you'd be coming back with a ring on your hand. Debbie! What? It might have been true if you'd actually gone. You're such a fraidy cat. Since when has being a responsible executive manager been described as a fraidy cat? Since it became synonymous with commitment dodging. Blake is a nice guy. He's well-connected, he's hot, and he's rich. What are you doing here when you could be there? Her point speared me with the precision of honesty. I haven't been here very long. I want to prove myself, I finally said. She sat on my desk. I hated when she did that. Taking a Friday off is not going to impress the other execs. None of them are even here today. You being here will get you fired for making them look bad. She laughed like she'd made a great joke. I just want them to take me seriously. The problem with being 26, blonde, and female is that no one considers you the boss. They think you're the one doing the Starbucks run. Oh, please. No one sees you as anything but a really creative leader. And because you gave up a weekend with your guy, you're going to be a single creative leader. How is it you read all those romances and watch all those romantic movies with women in corsets and yet reject your own matrimonial opportunity? I frowned. It was like she knew I had planned on spending the night having a Pride and Prejudice marathon at my best friend's apartment instead of meeting my boyfriend's parents. Breaking up with Jane's ideology did not mean I had to break up with her entertainment, especially when Darcy in a wet shirt was part of that entertainment. I knew Debbie was convinced Blake was going to propose, but I blew it off. Sylvia, my best friend, had also made several hints that maybe Blake was getting serious, but I always laughed at her. What if both my friends were right? He's never mentioned anything about a ring. You're being melodramatic. You said yourself he's the sort of guy who likes big surprises. He probably has something crazy romantic planned. Her eyes widened along with her smile. Oh, you could totally turn this around. You should meet him halfway on that. I scooted her off my desk to grab the magazines I needed for the meeting. You're not making sense. If you surprised him by showing up anyway, he'll know that you care and that